Alright, welcome back and hope everyone's having a lovely day. Still enjoying the 1.5 anniversary. And something I wanted to talk about today is because the game's been out for about 548 days now. We got the year and a half Annie right now. And I was kind of curious to see how the tier list changed over time because I know we can look at the tier list whenever a new character comes out, but I like the overall like community tier list. Like how is it looking from the worst to the best? How's it looking? And I was really interested in that, so let's talk about it for a little bit. I'm gonna put it on screen here, and as you can see, we're on Pride Pridewine's probably like one of the most go-to in terms of community tier lists. They do a lot of work here, as you can see. There's like reroll guides, PvP intros, the tier list, Harmony Cube suggestions, skill investment guide. So I highly recommend pridewin.gg for Nikke if you're trying to figure out how to invest in a character. They also show the active CD keys, which is awesome. So that's cool. Really cool to see. But we're not here for anything here except the tier list. So the way that the tier list works on Pridewin is that they go from low deficit story to late game story, which is high deficit, boss solo with no additional raptures, boss with additional raptures, and then PvP. And this changes a little bit for a lot of these characters. So let's talk. Let's see how this goes. So story low deficit, we go from burst 1 to burst 2 and burst 3. And as per usual, our burst 1 is Litter. She has been here since the start of the game. She is a queen, our grandma who knows what to do. She is still the best of the best in terms of a burst 1. She's yet to be power creeped. She's great. She's high tier great. She's so versatile for any teams. And Red Hood, she's great. She's a great burst 1. She's a burst 1, a burst 2, and a burst 3. Her burst 2 is not so good. So a lot of people, as you can see, she's SSS here. However, she is mostly SSS for everything in terms of her burst 3. This is where all her damage comes in and where she shines the most. As you can see, we have Red Hood. We have Tia here because she's one of the schoolgirls. We have Blanc. And now we have Crown, who's SSS in everything. She is a Queen Burst 2, Power Crept that Burst 2 category. Insane. And of course we have Naga here, who is a beast with Tia. She's so good and helps Crown a lot. She's great. Burst 3 Modernia, since last year, she's still a queen. SSS across the board. Sweeps, adds, everything. Makes sense why she's here. Now we have Blanc's counterpart. She's great. Love her design. She's great. She's a good burst 3. And she actually doesn't need to be with Blanc. Kind of similar with Naga. So, fun fact. But it makes sense why the bunnies and the schoolgirls are here and why Crown's here. They are beasts in the SSS. Same for Scarlet. She's huge still since the beginning of the game. Insane. Probably one of the most versatile, or actually no, the most versatile Pilgrim in the game. Because she's also meta in PvP. She cleans house in PvP. She's insane. And then Scarlet Black Shadow is also still really good. And I think a lot of people don't give her credit because she is insane. She still deals a lot more damage than a lot of people give her credit for. And she pushed me through campaign a lot. Like in hard mode. So she's huge. D-Killer Wife, Dorothy, and Rapunzel are still important. Rapunzel kicks ass in PvP and she's a really good healer. Regardless, Dorothy's still a good burst 1 alternative. Same for D-Killer Wife. I actually argue that if you have the meta team, I actually feel like instead of Litter, you might want to use D-Killer Wife because piercing for Red Hood can increase her damage. But that's just a thought. But yeah, no, there are some good alternatives to Litter. It's just the fact that Litter is just still just the queen. Now I remember when Senti used to be SSS, and she was like the top, like Litter, Senti, Scarlet, like that was a part of the meta. Like it was crazy. And then we have Rem here with high investment. You need to invest in her for her to shine this well. She does not do that much damage for me, but you really need to invest in her. And I'm pretty sure that's what these this dollar sign is in terms of investing. You really need to invest in them for them to shine. And the clocks are for limited time characters, unfortunately, so you cannot get Rem again. And then we also have A2, Amelia, Maxwell Privity, who need to be invested in. Sparkling Summer Niece, I love her. I have her MLB wallpaper. I 10-10-10 with overload gear. I simped so hard when she came out. Worth it. Same for Summer Mary. I remember Noise. She still kicks ass in PvP, but yeah, she goes down. I still feel like they're good reliables, especially in solo raid. I regret not getting Helm Summer because she could be a really useful unit in solo raid. But it's cool to see. Adala sadly went down, and Marciana's still pretty good. I feel like this is still where you kind of want to be for good units. Haran was actually my first Pilgrim, fun fact. And it was really cool to see. Alice, I need to invest in her, but if you can invest fully into Alice, she will outshine some Pilgrims as well. She is crazy. And yep, Snow White Innocent Days, she's great. Kilo, great for unit, still think it's worth it. Privity Unkind Maid, I need to invest in her for her to shine. I need Leona, I need Tuve to be like completely invested, unfortunately. That's a team that's like one of my dream teams to try to invest in so I can see them shine. But that takes so long that I don't feel like doing that right now. Same thing for Snow White, need to invest in her for her to shine. I just can't. Then we get down to the A category, which is the fair category. We got like Miranda, N102, which is insane to me. She is such a good SR. Seriously. A lot of people don't give her enough credit. She's a great burst one. So if you're lacking a good burst one, at least use N102. Same for Anni, she's great. Pretty surprisingly solid in PvP. I know some people use her for like an extra team, especially in Special Arena. I love Eleg, so hey, I can't say anything. It was my simp card right here. She is a great character. Rupee went down a lot. I remember she used to be SS, S, and then it just went down, which makes sense, you know. Over time, there are just better Burst 2 units than her. But still, good replacement for solo raid. Quincy as well. 2B, I know I need to invest more in her, especially for PvP, it can help a lot. Drake, I love her. Helm, I have a lot of cores for. Same for Laplace, which is great. Then we get down to the B category, which is kind of like... This is where I feel like a lot of problem lies with Nikke, because this is just low deficit, and the fact that a lot of Nikkes here are in the B tier. Like, we just got Bae, and she's just kind of B tier and C tier and high deficit. Like, it's so unfortunate, because there are so many other characters here I want to use. Like, I could obviously probably use them, but I feel like it doesn't make sense, because it would make sense to invest in other units. That's just my opinion. I know you could do waifu, but for me, it's like a mixture of both, and I just don't see the point in investing so much when it takes longer. Same for Guillotine. I think she could actually be really insane if you fully invest in her. She could be higher than B tier, but that takes a lot of investment with her. I don't have power. I don't have Makima. I was not here for the Chainsaw Man event, unfortunately, and they just turned out mid, which is a shame. I know Makima's pretty alright in PvP, but that's about it. And this is where some of the problems lie that I really wanted to talk about, because outside of low deficits, let's go to high deficit, because this is late game, and obviously units here are pretty much the same. But this is where I really wanted to talk about some differences, is over here in the C tier category, because there are still characters here, and there are pilgrims here. There are pilgrims here in the C tier. And I really wanted to talk about that, because in the C and D tier, I feel like for pilgrims, they should not be this bad. I feel like Shift Up needs to focus on reworking some kits outside of this new treasure system, because there are too many characters here that need this help. There are a lot of characters that nobody likes to use, nobody cares for. Like, I don't remember the last time someone used Adia. I don't remember the last time somebody, like, fully invested in, like, Celine. It's just not great, in my opinion. I'm sorry. I know you like these characters, but they're just not it. They're just pretty mid, unfortunately. And to have Nihilister in C tier for how long it takes to get her is so frustrating and needlessly annoying that I just don't understand. And like Noah, at least she's great in PvP. That's what I have her for. But she seriously needs an additional rework, because she should not be a C tier character. And that's just for C tier. Isabel is D tier. She is one of the worst pilgrims. The fact that there are some burst 3s here that are in the same level as her that are SRs are insane to me. I can't understand it. And it's frustrating, that Shift Up lets these kits go through, because even some characters like Curie came out, and the problem with it is that she's just pretty mid. Unfortunately, her kit's just not that great. And for a burst 3 is a tough category, and to have like such a mid kit like that is just not it. And she has such a lovely design, and it's wasted. And that's just kind of the unfortunate reality when it comes to this. That there are a lot of characters out here that I would love to use Rosanna. I would love to use Rosanna, but her kit's just the worst. She is one of the worst characters in this game, unfortunately, outside of PvP. Leona, she is so niche because you need to have her in a team with Privity made for her to work really well. Novel is just, she's good in bosses, but other than that, she's just not that great. Signal, I don't remember anybody using Signal. Like, it's crazy to me how many characters here have just become wasted because of these horrible kits that they try to put out. And it's not like I'm asking for meta-breaking characters. I know that's what it makes it seem like. I want always SS, SS, SS. No. I feel like characters in this spot should be more, like, applicable here. Like, someone like E-Leg is fair. They're usable. You can put them in a PvE team. You can invest in them and still be good to go. I feel like this is a good spot to be in. It doesn't have to be meta or groundbreaking, but just be usable for anything. And that's a real shame. That's why it gets changed when we get to bosses and stuff, because, like, even though Crown, she just outshines everything, there are niches for certain characters because they excel in just solo boss, or if there are additional adds, like, let's say, Modernia. She will be here. Like, Ludmilla, SSS bosses. She's crazy because she focused parts, cores, and all that. But then when we get adds, then she struggles a little bit and goes to SS, you know? Like, that's just how it is. Now, PvP is a different discussion. PvP, to me, I don't know how you'd be able to play PvP if you're new and you didn't luck sack some characters that are PvP forward. Because there's a lot of whales in PvP. And to me, honestly, PvP is just like, if you're a veteran or a whale, like, you'll probably be alright in PvP. Other than that, I don't know. Because PvP is a different ballgame, because Jackal is insane in PvP. I use her in my Burst 1. Biscuit as well. Scarlet's she just cleans house. Same for Sparkling Summer Anise. You need these characters. Same for Noise, Rapunzel. And yes, SR Anise is great in PvP. Use her. Utilize her. She's great. Same for Noah. There's a lot more Burst 3s you can use here. Same for Kilo. So if you have Kilo, there's some other characters you can use right there. Maiden's great. It's interesting to see the different tier list for PvP. And it sucks because it's so niche that there's a lot of pilgrims or limited time units here that if I don't have them, then I'm kind of screwed, because there's always those whales that have Core 7 Scarlet with a Core 7 Jackal, and that's it. You're going to get, like, wiped instantly, and there's nothing you can do, unfortunately. And for Rookie Arena, you just need one team, so maybe you'll be able to do good if you have some units. But if you're doing Special Arena, you need 3 teams, and that can be hard, especially for PvP forward units. That can be hard. That can be difficult. So, just having this here would be a good just frame if you're trying to figure out how to do for PvP. Because, for instance, Crown's amazing, but she's just alright. She's not that great in PvP. I wouldn't put her in my team, even though I have her maxed out and everything. So, interesting to see. But it's cool to see how this PvP and PvE tier list has turned out. Because it's not that different since the game came out. I want to be honest. It is not that different. And respect to Litter for still being the top dog in all of this. And make sure you get those duo characters, because they will help you a lot. Especially if you're in Union Raid or Solo Raid. That additional DPS they can provide will help you a lot. And that's all I really wanted to talk about. I just wanted to give a good quick look. Just talk about what's going on with the tier lists. And, like, how it's looking since the game came out. And it's not that different, honestly. Like, obviously some characters went down, but it's not too bad. But what are some characters that you feel like definitely, like, you would love to see a rework, because they're just not that great? For me, that's definitely Rosanna. Definitely, like maybe Bae. I loved her design, and it's the fact that she doesn't even get a good kit. What a shame. She's just like a PvP-esque character, and it's just not that great. But that's it for me. I honestly, it was nice to just sit down and just look at the tier list and just talk about it. And hopefully that piques your interest, because if you need other guides for anything specific like skill investing and stuff, definitely use Pridewind. They're a great resource. And that'll be it for me. You guys have a lovely day, a lovely night, wherever you're from. Thank you for all the support. Take care, and goodbye.